Hello YouTube, sorry about the terribly long wait. I had no voice for about 2 weeks, and actually as it stands, my voice is still not exactly the best. So I hope you forgive me if my voice cuts out a little bit this match. Anyway, I was facing a guy I've met on a place called Chatango. It's kind of like Skype, except it's all browser-based. Anyway, he asked for an NU match, and I agreed. And so he led with his Butterfree, and I had Pikachu, and I was like, great, I'd just smack it with a Thunder Punch and be up one. That was kind of the thought. And I believe he thought that Butterfree's base speed was fast enough that he could put me to sleep, but unfortunately for him, Pikachu has a base 90 speed, and so I easily outspeed it and take it down with a simple Thunder Punch. However, he does go into Levani, and there's nothing Reddit can do to that thing except the extreme speed, and I don't really want to lose Pikachu. So I'm going to go back into Camerupt. I love this thing, and he just goes for the Swords Dance, and I know his best move against me is the X-Scissor, which would hurt, but I can get a Rock Polish up and threaten with the Fire Blast. And I know he probably doesn't want to take a Fire Blast, and he actually Baton passes out. And he goes into Alamomola, which means I was thinking he wasted his Swords Dance. And actually he had planned to put Waterfall on his Alamomola, but apparently he didn't, so. But fearing the Scald, I decided to switch out. I do not want to take a Scald, and I do have this thing which has Guts, Luxray. So if he does Toxic, that'll just make me stronger, and I can threaten with the Wild Charge. However, he doesn't want to take a Wild Charge, of course, and I know he doesn't want to take a Wild Charge, so I go for the Crunch, knowing it's a better neutral base attack. And I actually hit the Levani on the switch, which, judging by the damage, that is easily a 3-hit KO. I am Scarfed, and so I am able to do huge damage, and he doesn't think I'm Scarfed, so he went for the Swords Dance, and that means Levani is dead, essentially, if he decides to stay in. And I don't think he has anything on his team that really wants to take a Crunch, and so he just lets his Levani die, and blast it. I'd love to have my throat back. Anyway, Levani goes down, so I am up 2 now. This is not a bad start for me. And I see the Alamomola. I hate that name. It's such a tongue twister. Anyway, I go for the Crunch just so I can get the Guts boost. And I'm going to switch this upcoming turn. I just wanted to get the Guts. So, now Crusher has both the Stab, Guts boosted Wild Charge. He has the Superpower and the Facade. Any one of those will do huge damage, and so I really don't have to rely so much on the Crunch anymore. Anyway, I know the Alamomola might have that Scald, but I don't really want to take a Scald with anybody, and he actually just goes for the Wish. I guess he was expecting me to keep on going for the Crunch. Not the case, and now I can go and safely set up my rocks. Even if he does hit me with a Scald, I'll still get my rocks up, because I highly doubt he'll be able to one-hit KO this particular Bastiodon, since it is specially defensive. That's right, I just went for the taunt. I thought I was going for the rocks right away, but it's a good thing, because now he can't set up on me, and so his Psychics do pitiful, pitiful damage, and now I can just go set my rocks up and then throw a Toxic in his face. That's kind of the plan here. So there goes my rocks, and so Bastiodon is doing some nice setup work for me, walling this Mr. Mime pretty much completely. I think it may learn Focus Blast, and if that was the case, that would have really hurt, but it's not going to take me out unless he gets a couple extra Psychics off first. So he throws another Psychic in my way. It knocks me down to about a quarter after the second Psychic, and then I can go ahead and get my Toxic off, and I was still doing very well. Bastiodon is such a beast in NU. You never really see it because it's incredibly slow, and it can't really do much outside of support, but it does a very nice job in the support job. So, unfortunately, the downside of Bastiodon is it packs a slow taunt, so he does get his nasty blot up, but I'm going to stop that. Go for another taunt. Yeah, no more setting up for you. And so he's going to go back to his psychics, and I'm just going to start firing off stone edges just to do damage. And so Stalwart's doing some good work here. That psychic is going to do a nice chunklet after the nasty plot boost. But still not enough to take me out in 2 hits, so we're doing good there. And as you can probably tell, my voice is starting to give out, but I'm going to keep on going anyway. Anyway, though, I'll just try to keep it less so you'll be able to shut up a little bit more. Stone Edge takes out the... Mr. Mime gets a useless crit, because I don't think it could have taken one at that point. And this is why I haven't been narrating. But he goes into Miltank, and I knew this thing was going to be a problem, but I figured if I get the taunt up, it can't set up very well, and with the curse it'll be pretty slow. Then I can throw a Toxic and go from there. So I throw up my taunt just so he can't do anything except attack, which is a plus blah blah blah, because his body slam return resisted, and yikes, sorry. And Bastiodon's defenses are just completely ridiculous. Okay, +1 body slam, boom, does maybe 20 damage, maybe. So I'm going to go ahead and get the Toxic off, which negates his leftover recovery, and not only does it negate the leftover recovery, it'll do more damage. So yeah, Bastiodon's got me in a good place now. I figure I'm just going to stay in and fire off a couple Stone Edges, just because if he doesn't have Heal Bell, I can beat this thing one-on-one. And I didn't really want anyone to take the paralysis outside of Bastiodon. Because Bastiodon's already slow, it doesn't matter if he gets paralyzed. And if I can weaken him enough, I can bring in Camera up, smack him with an Earth Power, and finish it off. So that's the plan there. Toxic's starting to rack up a little bit of damage, which is nice. I'm at 200 HP, which is very impressive considering how many attacks I've taken. But now I get paralyzed, and that's really annoying. But that's okay, because I'm just going to go for another Stone Edge here. Which, of course, does nothing, because Bastiodon's attack is, like, pathetic. Maybe I should go ahead and switch that for Metal Burst. It's more accurate. I think it has more PP and hits on both sides. So yeah, might be a good idea. But the taunt wears off, and at this point I'm like, well, he's probably going to try to Milk Drink or something. So I can go into Luxray, threaten with the Superpower, take it out with the Superpower. And he has the Heal Bell, so I'm like, great. Threaten with a Superpower, and at this point with the Guts boost, there's no way he's going to take a Superpower. He's not going to want to stay in. So I'm getting Aloe Momola because it has great defenses and all that, so I'm just going to go for the Wild Charge. And even if he stays in, it'll still do some decent damage. But he stays in, which is kind of unfortunate, but my Wild Charge is still going to do a good chunklet. Just not quite enough. If it done maybe about 40 more HP damage, that would have been great. So he Milk Drinks, and I know if I keep on attacking like this, I'm just going to lose a Luxray, so I'm going to switch. Go into Camerupt, and I'm like, well, if I do it this way, I can hit him with a couple Earth Powers. Maybe only one, but it's something like that. Hit it with the Earth Power, switch into Chimecho, hit it with the Psychic, and be done with this thing. That's the plan. Because I believe after the curse, he'll be faster. Not Camerupt, mind you, the Chimecho. But he actually goes for a second curse, which is like, oh, excellent, now I know Chimecho will be faster. Sorry, I might actually pause recording or something here and get back into this. So he's going to go for the body slam here. I'm running max HP, so I can take that pretty well. And that's exactly what happens. I take it a lot better than you probably expected, and I'm smacking with the Earth Power. I know I'm still slower, and I figure I'll just keep on firing off Earth Powers. If he decides to go offensive, I'll probably die here, but then Chimecho should be able to come in and strike it down with the Psychic, so no big deal. And he actually goes for the Milk Drink. I guess he did not want to lose his Miltank, and I was like, well, I'll just keep on hitting with the Earth Power. I might get a special defense drop. I believe Earth Power does have that as a side effect. I'll have to double check. But I hit it with another Earth Power. I would go with the Fire Gem boosted Fire Blast, but I figured with that thick fat, Earth Power is probably going to do more damage anyway. And I get a crit, so that's kind of nice, because it means Camera Up's going to live, and that's a lot better for me. But that was very stally. That Miltank was a real royal pain in the neck. But he goes into his Bunari, goes for the Copycat, and I was like, well, I'm going to lose my Camera Up to now. But I forgot one key thing. Lopunny's special attack is non-existent, so I take it, even though I'm super effectively weak to it, and I figured I was going to die, so I just fired off a Fire Blast, and get the Fire Gem boosted Fire Blast off, and that is the end of Lopunny. Very nice, which means he is down to his Alomomola, and I figure, well, I'm just going to leave Camera Up in to die, so I can have a safe switch in to Luxray, because with the Guts boost, I'm pretty sure it's stronger than Pikachu's Thunder Punch anyway. And so I could just smack it there, but he actually forfeits there, so that is game. A lot of fun, thanks.